John Wesley once said, to gain all that you can, save all that you can, and to give all that you can. Those are pretty simple words, yet they carry profound wisdom for how Christians can approach money, especially if you are in or approaching retirement. So today I wanted to explore Wesley's famous sermon, The Use of Money, and just walk through how it could possibly shape the way that you steward your wealth and your generosity later in life in retirement. If you're not sure who John Wesley is, he's the founder of Methodism. He was a preacher back in the 1700s, and he had a deeply practical theology. He cared a lot about how our faith touched everyday life. And in his sermon, The Use of Money, he mentioned three principles that I happened to mention at the beginning of this video that I think could still guide you in how you approach money. And no matter what denomination you are, Baptist, non-denominational, Anglican, I think that John Wesley here has a lot of wise things to say, and I want you to stay tuned till the end because all of these points have profound wisdom. So enough of a background, let's jump in here. First of all, Wesley said to gain all that you can. So he meant to earn diligently, but never at the expense of your health, your soul, or at the expense of others. So for you as the retiree, you may be thinking, well, my earning days are behind me. How does this apply to me? Well, even though you may not be earning a paycheck like you used to, your investments are now working for you. They're the ones that are earning that paycheck for you, producing that income. So I think that still begs the question, are your investments working in a way that reflects integrity and avoids harm? An example of this is something that my firm does called biblically responsible investing. And if you're curious to see if your investment portfolio is invested in a way that is biblically responsible, you can click in the link below. I'd be happy to walk through that with you. Secondly, Wesley says to save all that you can. He did not mean to hoard, to throw everything in the storehouse, and to just hold on to it to take care of yourself going forward. He meant to live simply, to avoid waste, and to practice wise management. So for you as the retiree, this could mean creating a thoughtful spending plan, so managing your cash flows well so that your money will last you throughout all of retirement and serve your family well. This could mean reducing unnecessary expenses to free up resources for what matters most, taking your family on trips, being generous, doing things that are purposeful and that mean a lot to you. And for some of you, this may mean creating an overall financial plan so that you can know that your whole financial picture is working together well to ensure that you're not holding on to more resources than you need to be in order to have a successful retirement. And that will also take a lot of the worry off of the table, give you a lot of peace of mind going forward. Oftentimes, simplicity creates freedom, but you need a plan in place to draw out what simplicity looks like for you. So Wesley said to gain all you can, to save all you can, and lastly, he said to give all you can. Rounding it all out, the whole purpose of wealth, I believe, and I think what Wesley is teaching here, is to be generous. Being able to give to others being the ultimate purpose for wealth. So for you as the retiree, retirement is a unique season to be able to bless children, grandchildren, and different ministries and nonprofits that you might be caring about. You now have freed up time to be volunteering. You have freed up time to be considering and thinking through how you maybe do want to utilize your wealth to bless others. Before you were working 9 to 5, you may not have had the freedom to really think through what all of this could look like. And it is true, it would be better for you to be generous than to not be, but with that, there are strategic ways to be generous. There's tools like donor advised funds and charitable trusts that can be utilized to multiply your impact. One of the most important things that I think Wesley's framework and teachings here in this sermon give to you as the retiree is balance. Some of you may be on this end of the spectrum worried about if you're going to outlive your resources. There's a fear that you will run out of money, and that leads to you white knuckling and holding on to those resources. On the other end of the spectrum, there are some of you that spend freely without really thinking about what is to come next. You are very open-handed with your resources, but maybe not very thoughtful with how those resources can be used for wise stewardship and for generosity. And I think Wesley's framework does bring it back to the middle and gives you a good framework on how to manage your income, manage your resources with integrity, allows you to live wisely, and really sets you up well to give abundantly. And in closing here, I wanted to quote Wesley again. Wesley says to employ whatever God has entrusted you with in doing good, all possible good in every possible kind and degree. Retirement is not the end of stewardship. I think it actually may be the most powerful season of it yet, with the new freedoms that you have. So what I think could be helpful for you this week is just to take some time to pray and reflect on how are you gaining, saving, and giving in a way that honors God and leaves an eternal impact. My name is Dylan Martin. I'm a certified financial planner with Stewardship Investments, and this is exactly what I do with the families that I work with every week. I'm helping them just to steward their assets well, to plan in a way that is glorifying to God, that does leave an eternal impact. We like to call it extra long-term planning. So in traditional investing, you want to plan for the long term, but as a believer, I think we have a calling to plan for the next step, for eternity. So instead of long-term planning, I like to think of it as extra long-term planning. If you found this video helpful, please take the time to subscribe, like this video, comment below with thoughts and questions you have so that others like you can find this video as well, and just to follow along for more videos like this on faith-driven retirement planning and investing. And remember that money is just a tool. It's not the end goal. So I implore you to use it well and to make it count for eternity. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your week. See you in the next video.